What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Live Lessons with Ace. This is the series where I play live, and I try and focus on one particular area of the game, and share my tips and advice while also trying to demonstrate them live. Last episode was actually really well received. A lot of you guys really liked it, and you're like, yes, please bring this back. So we're going to be bringing it back with some Domination today, because a lot of people were requesting Domination, because that last episode was Team Deathmatch. So I'm just going to give you, this one's going to be more just like a general Domination sort of thing. Of course, map is going to play a big role in this, but I just want to show you guys how I tend to approach playing Domination as a solo player. It's completely different when you have a team, but this is as a solo player. So let's hop into a game, and we'll see how we do. Alright guys, here we go. We got Crusher. And the big thing I want to point out with Domination, first off, is if you're a solo player in Domination, the mindset that I go into every game with is I'm going to do the best I can to try and help my team win, push for map control, and gain that map control. But at the end of the day, a lot of the times in Domination, it's the most common game mode to run into parties, as well as just players that tend to be a lot better than the average player in Team Deathmatch or Free-For-All, for instance. I'm not saying that all Team Deathmatch or Free-For-All players are bad. It's just on average, it seems that players in Domination tend to be a little bit higher skilled. Gunfights become a little bit more difficult, and you just want to be a little bit more on your toes, and also realize that you don't have as much control over the outcome of the game in Domination. So you see what I'm doing here? I almost never go straight for the B flag off of my opening routes. It's almost always just a way to get into a 50-50 gunfight, and we don't like 50-50 gunfights. Like if I would have rushed straight up, it would have been going against those guys head on. Instead, I go for a little bit of a flank. They don't usually expect it as much. I'm not saying it's going to work out for you absolutely every time, but they usually don't look for that as much. I was laying down. I tried to jump. There was no time to jump out of the way there. But right now, I'm always, every time I spawn, I look where my teammates are. I've got two teammates pushing B. I've got two teammates still locking down the C flag. So one thing, if I didn't have teammates there, I'd be rotating back. But right now, I'm seeing a dot here. He looks like he'd be an easy kill to pick up. So we'll just go on his flank here like that. Pick him off. Now, we're losing B. One option here, and what a lot of people would do, is, again, try to attack that B flag head on. That's not really that productive. I would much rather get on the flank here, be like a pain in their side here, at least pick a few guys off, weaken their defenses up a little bit as my teammates are distracting them head on. So I can get on their flank like this and choke my shots, of course. But you see what I was trying to accomplish there. We want to try to avoid those situations of going face to face. Yes, it sometimes will take you a little bit longer to get to that flag, but in a lot of situations, that is good enough. Alright, also, big tool for solo players when you're playing Domination, Dome Shield. If you've got it unlocked, I highly recommend using it as a solo player that wants to win the game. And I want to let you guys know that my main focus in Domination is the win. But at the same time, I'm not going to completely just throw my life away over and over again trying to throw my body on a flag, because that's not fun for anyone, and it's not helpful to my team to do that. So these guys challenging face to face, do a little dome shield trick here. Pop the dome shield, and then you jump through the dome shield like that. Very, very effective little tactic. Most people can't keep up with what's going on. A really solid player absolutely will. He'll just pre-fire you as you come through, but a lot of players are like, oh, it's a dome shield, I can't shoot through it. And then you just jump out and kill him. But you also notice we started pushing their flag really, really hard here. Now, we haven't flipped spawns yet, but we're about to flip spawns over to that area, assuming we actually get a few kills in here and keep pushing this map control. But they actually pushed my team back, so therefore they aren't going to flip spawns. But that's where they would have flipped spawns too, and the reason I know that is that's where I have no teammates over there, and I know there's a few spawn points in that area. It's actually a really heavy spawn point, and there we go. We just forced that spawn flip. You can now see the dots coming towards the B flag like that. I thought that guy died, to be honest. But I'm focusing more on big picture for you guys here. It's very easy to read those sorts of spawn flips in this situation. I'm still a little worried about this area too. There might be a lingering person that had spawned there previously. So you just always got to be aware of, like, not only where are they spawning now, but where did they spawn a little while ago. And with a lot of players, they just kind of like hang around in their spawn area for a while. So now we're pushing A and C. On this map, holding A and C is not the most practical way to go, because they're going to start spawning that corner and possibly this corner, although right now not this corner because we've got too much pressure put on there. But now they're just going to settle back down. I want to let them cap A. That's something that I want to be very clear about. I want them to cap A because it steadies their spawn towards the A flag. It anchors it more towards the A flag and gives us more of an opportunity to take the B flag. Now here, purposely bump the V flag just to kind of turn this guy around and make him panic a little bit and come towards me. And just makes him come towards me rather than me having to go all the way to him. I was still very confident I would win that gunfight against him. All right, so now this is a tactic that I do a lot. I'm pushing past the B flag for map control. I'm not just throwing my body on it yet, but now I have a teammate that's also pushed up. He's holding map control there for me, so he's cutting off anybody that's coming through there. This allows me to capture the B flag with pretty good safety, and that's something that a lot of people underestimate, is that move. I see a lot of people complain about people that do that move, and yet they don't realize that that guy just gave me so much safety as I was capturing that B flag. I had nothing to worry about while I was capping that flag because of him. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's just ignoring the objective. He's just being a kill whore. No, he's being smart and he's helping me out. Oh, crap. I'm running into guys here. Hope I don't get shot in the back here. Yeah, I kind of thought that was going to happen. I just got myself in a bad situation. I was kind of trying to avoid that. Okay, notice I spawned here. That means they're putting a lot of pressure towards this side of the map. And we might even have someone in our spawn here with Ghost. Otherwise, we shouldn't have pushed up that far. We should have spawned more... towards the C flag. So not only pay attention to where you are spawning. This is a standard spawn. This is where I should have spawned, but the reason I spawned up there is because we had a guy pushing over here. So always pay attention to where you and your teammates are spawning, and you can use that to predict enemy movement as well. That was a nice nade. Felt like kind of a random nade, but that was a nice nade. That was a nice nade. So far everything's going fairly well. I mean, they got a warden up on us and stuff, so we want to be a little bit better at slaying. That's one thing I want to adapt to a little bit here, is focus a bit more on my gunfights and winning that. I've been trying to focus a lot on big picture stuff for you guys, trying to point out like why I'm pushing a certain way, why I'm not doing certain things that a lot of people would tend to do. But I think I need to focus a little bit more on gunfights. Here, I'm going to go full Slayer mode. I'm going to rush them off spawn towards C, and hope for the best. I am going to run into a face-to-face gunfight here. Didn't get into position in time. I was kind of hoping that all of them would hold back and cap C. And that's one advantage that you can gain by not capping your home flag. Not everybody needs to hop on the home flag. Alright, this is a very risky challenge. I kind of knew I was going to die there. I just really didn't want them to capture that B flag. And that's a mistake that I made. I'll be honest with myself, that's a mistake. I would have been better off holding back, even letting them capture that initially, and then trying to take it back from them afterwards. And I didn't do that. Okay, I thought that was his elbow sticking out, but I think it was a dead body. Alright, we've got our teammates pushed up towards B. I'm going to push and lock these spawns down and hold map control if possible. Oh, man, I didn't... How did you get a line of sight on me there? Wardens, man. Wardens, sometimes. I don't know how they're getting all these wardens. Probably because I'm losing all these gunfights. And there's that warden again. I don't have anything to shoot that down with. I'm going to switch and shoot that down, then I'll just switch back. I'm kind of liking how the OSA class is treating me. Alright, let's do a... Never mind, dead. Okay, looks like Warden's down, so we can get back in the fight here. Now, because I spawned there, we've got enemies definitely back there towards my teammates, but they should be focused on my teammates, so I should be safe to do this. I shouldn't have to worry about my back, like, not too much at least. I'm going to wait for this guy to push through. This is just a patience sort of thing. You got to be aware of where their spawn is and where they're coming off of spawn, and sometimes you got to be a little bit patient with them. They cap that really fast, so that means there's two people capping it. It's another thing with Domination. If you pay attention to the amount of time it takes your enemy to capture it, you can tell how many enemies are capturing it. And in that situation, I knew it must have been two enemies because they captured it very, very quickly, or a lot faster than they would have been able to capture it with just one guy. So that's how this vulture's going to get me. No, it's not. Refuse to lose. It's actually still going to get me. It's flying right near me. All right, here we go. I don't know where that vulture is. Oh, Scorchers. No, I didn't mean to call those in. I thought I was calling a UAV in. I'm really bad for that. I'm pretty bad with looking at my score streaks before I call them in and paying attention to what score streaks I have and don't have and stuff like that. That was just a bad move. I was going to explain why I am running Scorchers. Normally, I don't run Scorchers or Bombardment because I just find they're not very powerful streaks and they don't get very many kills. The reason I'm running them while I'm playing solo Dom is if I end up far away from a flag and like I come off spawn here and they're on the B flag or something, I can call it in and defend that flag from a distance. I wouldn't normally recommend running them for like getting lots of kills or anything, but as like a key strategic sort of thing to use, very, very important. I also wanted to point out when I was pushing up that way, I didn't push in towards the enemy's spawn. I considered it, and then I realized, no, we don't want to push their spawns out. We don't want to flip the spawns. That's just going to create chaos for my team. You only need, and the best strategy is almost always to capture one or two of the three flags and hold down those two positions. Once you start pushing for that third flag, you flip spawns, which my teammates are actually about to do right now if they can actually get their kills here. Yeah, so I'm going to try and predict this spawn here. They might end up spawning. Yeah, they already did, and they pushed towards a B flag. But they did end up spawning out here. Oh, sloppy aim, but that's okay. This is my first game of the day. But hey, if you got good movement, you don't need the best aim. See, this is something, and this is a perfect example of us pushing spawns and why it's a bad idea. Now look, they're holding 2 flags. They push back. We flipped their spawns out to an area where we had no map control anymore because my whole team was pushed up. And now they took control of 2 of the flags. And now we're going to have to scramble trying to cap one of them while also trying not to lose the B flag. And we put ourselves at a disadvantage. And it was completely unnecessary to do that. This is why, at least when you're playing solo or you're not like super confident in your team, you shouldn't be pushing for a triple cap. It's almost always a bad idea, unless of course you are behind and you need it to win. In that situation, yeah, go, by all means, go for it. The other situation is if you are very, very confident that you've got control over the game, and even if you do flip spawns, it's not a big deal. You'll take control again. All right, we're about to... Nope, nope. I was just going to say, we're about to start losing the B flag. We've got no map control over by the B flag there because no teammates are over there. So what I was trying to do here is push this way and get on their flank. I'm not going to get there in time, but I still might be able to get here in time to clean up a couple people, but they've got the stupid turret thing. Always got to be looking at your minimap, especially when you come off spawn. It's very important to check your minimap, see what's going on, and see where you need to push, where you would be most effective. Now, luckily, those turrets are actually pretty easy to take out. I thought I was going to make it there. I was actually going to phase shift after I made it to that cover, and then I was just going to run up behind that dude, but sometimes you just don't make it around the corner when you think you could. And I also just realized I forgot I had the Scorchers. So I would have been, thinking back now, it would have been a much better idea for me to call those Scorchers in. Just after I handled that gunfight on the guy that wall ran above me and I threw my dome shield, right at that point, I should have called my Scorchers in. I knew they were going for B. I just simply forget sometimes that I have streaks, and that's one of my weaknesses and one of the areas of my games that I am aware of and I want to work at. I'm trying to work at. All right, here I'm going to drop shot. When a guy shoots at you like that, you know he's going to push you and challenge you. Drop shots can be a very effective way to take him out. This is an interesting strategy on my teammate's part, trying to cap the C flag. Looks like we'll end up getting it because we got this dome shield here too. It wouldn't have been the best choice, but at the same time, it was the easiest flag to capture in that area. All the enemies were pushed up towards the B flag. They had map control there. So it was kind of a smart choice on his part. You just got to realize when you do that, spawns are going to get a little bit weird after that. But sometimes it's a good thing to mix it up and make spawns a little bit weird. So we ended up doing 37 and 18, 6 captures. We were doing a lot of focus on map control and everything like that. Hopefully that really showed you guys big picture sort of stuff with Domination, as well as a little bit of spawn prediction. I will admit my gunfights were not the greatest. Didn't handle them as well as I would like, but overall, pretty solid game. I think we definitely played a key role in that win while playing that game. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comment section below what other aspect of the game that you'd like to see me demonstrate live in a future episode of this series, because I'm definitely keeping this series going because it was very, very well received. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll talk to you guys next time.